Welcome to Let's Talk Marriage with Stephen and Audrey. My name is Stephen. We're here to you. We're here today to talk to you about Let's Talk Marriage with Stephen and Audrey, the podcast. The best podcast about marriage that's out there on the air today. If you want to have a great marriage, because we believe in the perfect.
Yes, we do.
Not that we're perfect as individuals.
No, we're not.
But we can make our marriage perfect for us, for our lifestyle, the way we want to live our life as a married couple, right?
That's right.
And there's ways to do that. And then as you follow this podcast, you're going to learn a great deal about how to have a great marriage. But before we do that, I'm going to have Audrey come on and tell you how you can connect with us, how you can hear our podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you, baby. So you can watch our podcast by going to our Facebook group, Let's Talk Marriage with Stephen and Audrey. You can also listen to the audio version on Spotify.com.
Oh, yeah.
You can also send us messages in or questions or topics of interest that you'd like for us to address by going to Talk Marriage with s.a@gmail.com. And you can also watch this video at StreamYard.com. We'd be glad to hear from you. Thank you for watching today.
All right, and that's so great. And be sure to hear us on Spotify on our radio show. It's a good show, and we touch a lot of things. So it's so great to be here with you today, Audrey.
Thank you, Stephen. It's always good to be here.
We're going to get into our topic for today. Our topic for today is the Oz factor.
So the Oz factor.
The Oz factor.
Are you talking about we're off to see the
Wonderful Wizard of Oz? Okay, because when I was a little young man growing up, it meant something to me. Because when I saw the story, I saw it as the young Dorothy learning some real principles in life. And those principles were to use your brain, have a heart, and have courage. And I've used that throughout my life. It serves me well. I've always tried to use my brain, right?
Yeah.
I try to have a heart, be compassionate and loving, and a heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to have courage to try things.
Absolutely.
And a lot of things we don't accomplish because we never try them.
That's true.
And in life, sometimes you have to have the courage to try things. What you say?
I agree with that, Stephen. It will serve you well to use all three of those.
All three of them. Yeah.
Yes, your brain, your heart, and have
some courage.
Have courage throughout this journey, and definitely in your marriage journey.
No doubt about that.
You got to use your brain, ladies. You got to use your heart, and you got to have some courage to do this.
Okay, so Audrey, and you're growing up, where were you at? Should give us some information on how you use those things.
Okay.
When you were looking to be married. First, let's go back to where you were in your life.
Okay.
Some of the disappointments you might have had because you've been married before.
Absolutely.
And so, what place were you in?
Okay.
When you discovered me, Your Majesty? You feel me?
When I met Stephen, I was 50 plus.
Okay.
So that's just what I'm saying, lady. I waited till I was 50 plus. I had married earlier, but I didn't necessarily use my brain, my heart, and courage. I think I just went on a whim, but I was seasoned, 50 plus.
Okay.
And I like a man that will love me, that I can love, that we can share some things. He'll meet my needs, I'll meet his needs.
Yeah.
We could travel, have fun.
So you was done playing games.
Yes, no game playing.
No game. Let's be real.
Yeah, I was done.
And that's, I know what I want now.
Yes.
Because I think that's the issue. A lot of times, especially when we're young, we don't really know what we want.
That's true, Stephen.
You know, we just trying things.
Yes, and we oftentimes say, "Oh, I want a man. It's just no good man."
Yeah.
But that's not always the case, ladies. The pickings may be slim at this point in life, but guess what? You gotta make the right choices. You got to use your brain. You got to use your heart, and you got to use courage. So I said, God, Heavenly Father, I want.
Okay, because you being a Christian woman, right?
Yes, yes.
So you thought, let me talk to God.
Yes, yes.
And let Him direct and guide me forward into a great relationship, right? Am I right on that?
You're absolutely right,
Okay.
Stephen. Yes, I said I want a man that is that he loves to travel, that he likes, and Stephen is very adventurous. I said I want him to be at least 5'10", and Stephen's 5'11".
5'11". So I fit that. Yeah. Well, big man.
I didn't ask for all those muscles now, but he does have some.
Oh yeah, I got a couple. I'm in there.
So, you got to be specific. You have to know what it is you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you have to position yourself so that you can receive it and recognize it when it appears.
That's right. That's important.
And I agree, Stephen.
Yeah, you have to know. You go to a restaurant.
Yes.
You order, I want chicken, I want salad, I want this, and then when that plate comes, you recognize it because you know what you ordered.
Right. And when the server brings it, and then it's like, okay, Stephen has the ribeye, and I have the salmon. Oh, that's his. Like you said.
We know who
is, who it belongs to. So for that maid, I would know and recognize it.
When you saw him.
Right. Not just brush it off,
That's important.
Yes. So, I was like, okay, so now with the brain, Stephen, I was like, because ladies, how about we look at men sometimes, just like men look at ladies from the physical standpoint.
Yeah.
And
because you is kind of fine, though.
Okay.
I mean, I did look at it like that too. I see what you're
saying. So anyway, sometimes we look at a man and we look, oh wow, he has nice muscles. His physique is awesome. Ooh, I'd like to talk to him. But or he has a nice car. He probably has a good bank account. Ladies, we don't know that. And even though we can see the surface that him having those muscles, he buffed and everything. Yeah. That doesn't mean he's good marriage material. Wow. It just doesn't mean that. So we have to be careful in our choices and who we even, allow to come into our circle and get close to us to become friends first. Yeah. And then see where it goes. So we don't want to look at
because by
shell.
Then you had kids and everything too, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to be careful of who you bring into their lives as well as your life, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to really use your brain to make those decisions.
I agree, Steve. I agree with you, baby. So okay. So what are we going to move on to the heart?
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about the heart. So the heart is that thing of compassion, that love for each other. Love comes out of the heart. Real love. Yeah. Because in my opinion, you shouldn't get married if you don't love the person. I don't mean like Audrey was saying, they got a nice car, they got all the things they may have. Mm-hmm. That you truly in your heart love the person. And that you're willing to be committed to them with your heart. That means helping them go through things. As you run into different situations in your marriage, you have the heart of understanding. Mm-hmm. I see your point of view. I see your struggle. I see the things going on in your job and how you got to deal. And, I don't like to use this, but, we live in a society where we have to deal with the white people. We don't always get a fair shake with them. Mm-hmm. And then when I come home and I share that with you, I need that compassion, that you understand my plight. Yeah. That the things I got to go through to be able to provide for you. And that my plight is as a man and the things I have to deal with to provide for you sometimes is a challenge.
That's
So I
true.
need you to understand that and have a heart for that.
That's true, Stephen. I agree with that, baby, because the heart, the Oz factor,
Yeah.
the heart of the Oz factor is knowing that, hey, wow, this person, he really cares about me. I really care
Yeah.
about him more than just a surface. Like when Stephen and I met, he was on the road as a truck driver.
Yeah.
And we had so much time to really get to know one another, to see before we got into the physical, which we
That's right.
shouldn't get into
And I
the
think that
physical.
was important that we had that time.
Absolutely.
We didn't get intimate. It wasn't about sexuality. It was about knowing each other.
That's right. And seeing where his heart was.
Yeah, yeah. And I saw where your heart was.
That's
We
right.
talk on the phone like I'm driving on the road all time of night, and we're just talking about things we want to do, what we want to do in our life.
That's it. That's it. And when we finally met, we had dinner.
Oh, it was great.
It was great. Yes, we had dinner. We laughed and we talked about.
And then at the end of the day, I'm trying to go in and get this kiss, but I gotta tell her. She don't like me to tell her. And then I was like, I'm going in for the kiss. It was great.
But we got a chance to also talk about, because when you're 50 plus, or you're any age, ladies, 30, whatever, if you have previous relationship and have to want to know from that new individual that's walking into your life, well, what went wrong with your previous relationship?
Yeah.
What do you think you could have done differently?
Yeah. And I told her, it's the same way too.
That's right. Because you want to grow from that. You don't want to say, oh, it was all him. Oh, it was all her. We got to do a self-check. Make sure that we're in position for this new person. And we can't be so bitter, bring baggage from that previous relationship, because our heart is not open to really love and receive then. If we bring that baggage.
If we bring that in.
That's true.
And then that brings us courage.
Yes, it does, Stephen.
Because you had to have had a certain amount of courage to even try this again.
You're right.
To be able to, because you can't go into it if you don't trust.
That's right.
You can pick out everything that you may be wrong about. You have to have the courage to say, I'm going to give this relationship everything it needs to grow. That takes courage, because that means you're vulnerable.
That's true.
You know what I mean? When you get into a relationship, you at your most vulnerable when you get into a relationship with somebody.
That's true. That's true.
And because what you're thinking about is in the past, this guy did this woman did this. You know what I mean? Now I'm careful of I don't want to give everything until I see what the person's about.
Yes.
I don't want to give you all my heart, all my brain. I don't have the courage to trust you because I trusted other people and it didn't turn out so good.
That's true, Stephen. And if you don't be vulnerable and actually, trust them, have the courage to trust them, you'll wind up in the same type of relationships.
Yeah.
Because it's not like vulnerability is something that's not good. It's actually good for you.
And it's a reality.
It is
a reality. Like when you expose yourself to another person, open up your heart and do all these things, you're kind of vulnerable.
That's right. But how will you know if that person is right for you if you're not vulnerable?
You have to have courage.
You have to have courage. Absolutely.
You have to have the courage to take that chance.
That's right.
Because let's be real. Marriage is a chance.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's like you were saying, a guy might have a nice car. He might be physically in good shape. But do that mean he's going to be right?
No, it doesn't.
Somewhere you got to say, I have to have the courage to believe in this person. I have to have the courage to give this person a chance to see where this can possibly go. And this is the most important part of our courage. I have to be willing to trust them. I got to be willing to do that. That's got to be a decision that I have to make. I have to be willing to be vulnerable. I have to be willing to see if this thing could work.
That's right.
That I'm going to give all my energy into it.
That's true, Stephen.
Because so if I'm meeting Audrey and I'm not giving all my energy to it, then I'm not giving her the very things that she needs.
That's true.
That's going to be to get her to know who I am.
Very
if I'm holding, okay, I'm going to get this guy, but I'm going to hold things back. I ain't going to do this. I ain't going to do that. You know, you're scared of being hurt. Then you're not giving him the things that he needs to be invested in you, because the thing that you're holding back is compassion. You're holding back love. You're holding back intimacy. I'm only going to do so much. But the things you're holding back is the very thing you need to make the marriage work.
Absolutely.
So in essence, you're sabotaging your own relationship.
Oh my goodness.
Because you're not giving everything into it to make it work.
I agree with you 100%.
Because, I mean, that's where the courage comes in.
Yes, it does.
You have to give the courage to give everything that you can't hold nothing back.
That's true. Yeah.
You can't hold nothing back.
I like that, baby.
And that's what occurs. You have to take that chance that if I give everything I have to give, that this thing is going to work out.
That's
and
right.
Guess what? Look at this. If it don't work out,
he wasn't for you.
He wasn't for
you.
And then you can say, I gave everything.
That's it.
It wasn't me.
Yes.
Because I put everything into this relationship.
That's right.
To make it work.
That's
you can't say that if you don't do that.
That's true. You want to be able to give the best version of yourself.
That's right.
To that individual. And they're like Stephen said, if it doesn't work, you did your part.
You've done your part.
That's right.
You can't put it on me.
That's
right. When I got in with you, I gave everything.
That's right.
My resources, my finance, you know what I mean? Everything that I have, I brought you into my children's life. You know, I was open about everything that had to do with me.
That's right.
And I was willing to have the courage to take the chance that me and you make.
That's right. So ladies, guys, hey, the Oz factor is quite important.
It's quite important.
You gotta have a brain. You gotta use it. You gotta have a heart. You gotta use it.
That's right.
Passion, and you have to have the courage.
And I think that's the one that's the most important. You have to have that courage. I know you've been hurt. I know you've gone through things with different men and different women that didn't turn out right. But for you to find that real person for you, you have to have the courage to allow that relationship to manifest.
That's right.
To have that relationship build into something.
That's it.
You have to give all you got.
That's it. And to maintain your relationship.
That's right. Over the years.
That's right. You have to have courage also, Stephen. Yeah. So
I had courage when it came to Audrey. I was like, you know, she cool, she pretty. I'm gonna put everything in it because I was an over the road truck driver, and I had been divorced too, and I was ready to settle down. I've been on the road for over 20 years, and I wanted to settle down because I'm getting older, because we were over our 50s, and so that's what I wanted. That was a desire of mine, to find me a good wife, because I come from a marital family. My mother and father was married their whole life. You know what I mean?
How many years?
Oh, but like.
Yeah.
And then and they had their ups and downs, but they stuck out. They made it work.
They were committed.
They were committed to each other, and so I wanted that too.
Yes.
And then because I was getting older, and like I said, I had a few bad relationships. I already had a couple of sons already born, you know, and so I wanted to, you know, and then, to be honest with you, I was a little estranged from my sons at the time. And so once me and Audrey got together, and I had the courage to give everything into this relationship, and she had the courage, and then she had the mind and the heart, and then the first thing that she wanted to do, you need to get back and reconcile with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was part of my plan too, but it was a blessing to hear her say that.
Yeah.
That you need to and then we did that.
Yes, and Stephen also.
I didn't really mean to get into this, but this is where it's going.
Yeah,
so.
But that's true. That's being transparent, baby. But I was estranged to some degree in common.
Yeah.
And we work for the common good.
Yeah.
Of getting back into our children's lives.
And that took courage.
That took courage, yes it did.
My kids are mad at me. I'm just gonna say.
But I'm glad that you joined us today. And Stephen, I guess when he plays the music, I'll go ahead and tell you once again where you can see us. You can watch us on Facebook. Let's Talk Marriage with Stephen and Audrey. You can watch the podcast there. You can also listen to the audio version on Spotify.com with Let's Talk Marriage with Stephen and Audrey. You can go to StreamYard.com and watch the video. And we're so happy that you joined. Any topics that you want to discuss, please share them at Talk Marriage with s.a@gmail.com. And you can also call us and leave a question.
Yeah.
470. That's 470-607-4743.
And if you relate to any of the topics we talked about that you've been through, some of these things, pretty much all of us have, people talk to you and share with you, maybe even.
Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Have a great day. Thanks for watching Let's Talk Marriage Podcast with Stephen and Audrey.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.